Hey everybody, we are, or I am, and me and my family are in Tallulah Falls, Georgia. That is nearly as far north in Georgia as you can go on Highway 441, I believe. It's near the top of Georgia. And there's this landmark called Tallulah Gorge. It's in the city of Tallulah Falls, but it's the Tallulah Gorge. And that's where we're at. There's a hike that you can take down, and we are here at the top of the falls. So Tallulah Falls is in Tallulah Gorge, and I'm up here. We're walking down this hiking trail. Never been down this way, but there's some interesting history that's here. A bunch of movies have been filmed here, and show you how far down this is. Now, obviously on a camera, you can't tell much at all. But this is a sheer drop. It's got to be 200 feet, possibly, down to the bottom. It is so beautiful. I've never seen this close. I don't think we're going to hike down to the very bottom, but that is really far down. Some of the movies that have been filmed here, one of the Avengers movies was filmed here. I'm not a big movie buff guy. I don't know about all the movies, but there have been some movies that have been filmed here. There's also been a tightrope. So I'm gonna, once we get done with the falls, I'm gonna go to the top. There's a place that's way up on the top up here. It's a kind of a lookout, and I've got something else interesting that went on there, and I'll talk to you about that. This is gorgeous, beautiful. It looks as if you could take and jump off of this rock. You could end up in that water. You'd probably die because of the impact, but anyway, wow. Well, these steps that go to the bottom, or go down, I don't think we're going to the bottom on these. It is just so many steps. It is so steep. Wow, it goes way down. Holy cow, we're going to be so worn out. Going down is not too bad, obviously. Coming up's worse. So we're almost to it. There's a little suspension bridge right here. I want to go across. Too cool. All right, here it is. Ruthie's already out there. Jump! Oh my goodness. Whoa, this thing starts to move. Whoa, it is too cool. Look at that. Give anything to get down in that water, though. That would be so much fun. Wow, look at the size of this cable. This thing is bouncing so much. So that is a pretty good waterfall right there. You know, for Georgia standards, not for out west or someplace like that. But anyway, there's a big pool of water right there. It would be so neat to just jump off of that rock into that water. Wow, this is neat. And you can run and it starts to bounce. So without a permit, this is about as far down as you can go. If you had a permit, they'll let you go down these steps onto this platform, and you can explore down there on the rocks. But without a permit, which I didn't know you had to have, because I guess they want you to be accounted for in case you were to get swept away or something. But here is the bottom side. So up around there was where the waterfall was at. The waterfall, the suspension bridge. So we had to come down all 221 steps to get down here, but this is so pretty. I'd give anything to be able to jump in that water. Although it's really cold. You ever jumped in a really cold pond or anything and it just takes your breath? That's how this is, but once you're in it for a few minutes and hypothermia sets in, it's not so bad. But I would love to get up there or slide down those rocks. This is so neat. Glad we came down here. I'm not so glad, however, that we already went down about 1,000 steps. We've got to do that again. I was looking here. Somebody lost a jacket or something down here, and they can't retrieve it without a permit. So they decided to just leave it, but they're not going to be needing a jacket today. I can promise you, it is hot. We are sweaty. Anyway, this is the bottom, and I guess this is Tallulah Falls. I think falls, being its plural, it's not like that is Tallulah Fall, but there's many of them. It is really pretty. And got one more thing. Once we get at the top of the hill, if we get back to the top of the hill, we've got somewhere else to go concerning Tallulah Falls or Tallulah Gorge. And get back right with you. It's time to go back up all these stairs. Oh no. So I just climbed 221 steps. This is the worst mistake in my life. Over here, across the bridge, there's about 1,000 more. I don't know. I wonder if they can land a helicopter in here. Oh man, terrible, but there's a water fountain. Yeah, that'll get me through. Yeah. Okay, are you wore out, hon? She's having time breathing.
That was a mistake.
Big mistake?
Wasn't worth it.
What about you, Ellie? Is it too hard? Oh man. Ruthie's drinking the well dry. Gracie?
Bad idea. Unless you're in
Don't come here.
Don't come here. Oh, and then the bad part is you're so hot, you want to go jump in that water and you can't do it. It's like torture. This bridge was a lot of fun when I first saw it, but now it just means it leads back to the 1,000 steps of death. This thing is really moving.
Yeah. Hurry.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 13. Oh boy, 13. Tell my family I loved them. 900 and what was it? 93, 4. 995, 996, 97, 998, 999, 1,001. How do you feel?
Horrible.
Is it bad?
It's not worth it.
Not worth it. So, we're at the top of the gorge now. We're on the other side, so we started our little walking journey earlier right over here. There's a building. See if I can zoom in. You can see there's like a structure right over here. That is where we started, and we walked down. Biggest mistake of my life. Walked down there, thought we were all gonna die. The falls were over here. There's also more falls down here. But the interesting thing that I was going to mention about Tallulah Gorge, that's the neatest, at least, thing to me, is in 1970, if you've ever heard of the Flying Wallendas, they're a family that would do like circus tricks, tightrope, things like tightrope exhibitions where they would walk across, you know, really wide distances. The father of the Wallendas, Carl Wallenda, actually walked a tightrope across the gorge. It was let me see here. It was back in 1970. It said that 30,000 people gathered to see him do this. He walked 1,000 feet across. So his distance where he went from one side to the other was 1,000 feet. It was 750 feet to the bottom, all the way to the bottom. No, he did not fall. Said he did 2 handstands. He also, it took him 18 minutes, and when he got to the other side, his wife handed him 2, I think, martinis or something to that effect. The brackets that the tightrope was stationed to they're still mounted somewhere along this area over here, these rocks. I don't know exactly where he started from, but he went across. It was a 1,000-foot journey that he walked across. Again, how insane does that have to be? Unfortunately, Carl Wallenda met his fate like 8 years later. I think he was 65 in 1970 when he did this trek across here. But in 8 years later in Puerto Rico, he was going between 2 hotels, and unfortunately he slipped, fell, and was killed. But this is a neat place. Some of the movies that have been filmed here in this area down in the gorge. Let's see, I've got them on my phone here. Like, I can't remember them. So it was Avengers, Infinity War, Deliverance, some of the scenes of Deliverance, some of the scenes of Avenger, and several other lower budget movies. But this is definitely a place that if you ever, there's a little roadside lookout. This used to be a really popular place. Unfortunately, a lot of these places throughout the years have become places that are somewhat off the beaten path. They're not Gatlinburg, they're not Pigeon Forge. You can see that like with Cherokee, North Carolina. It's a place where there's just not as much going on anymore except for the casinos. But this is one of those places. You can tell it used to be a great tourist attraction, but now it's one of the things that's kind of gone by the wayside. And someone recently has opened up this little cafe, or this little store, opened it back up. But if you ever get a chance and you're in North Georgia, come see Tallulah Gorge. There's a lot of history here that is kind of hidden, you don't know about. Don't forget too, guys, if you hadn't already, subscribe to my channel, hit that like button, comment, let me know if you've been here before. And like I say, get off the couch, turn off the video games, go outside and make your life an adventure. Take care, bye.